welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Two in the Cooler. Thank you guys for watching, listening, subscribing, following, all that good stuff. If you are watching, you are probably noticing right away that we are not in the studio this week. Both Matthew and I are going to be doing this episode via Zoom from our homes. The reason for that is because we are both actively dealing with COVID situations right now. So can't be in the studio. Got to play it safe. Hopefully next week we'll be good to go. We'll be back in the studio doing our thing. But for this week, this is how it's got to go. So I apologize if there's any audio issues or visual issues when we get into the full episode. Quick shout out, we were supposed to have a couple guys from Money Set the Label on this episode. One of their dudes, Hoodstar Jack, has got a great EP that just came out. It's called The Hood's Poet. I'm going to put the Spotify link in the episode description. But man, you have to check it out. It's so good. Hopefully we'll be able to talk to them for real again soon, but they're just the best fucking guys, and it's a really good EP, so check it out. In the meantime, folks, if you're looking to support this show, there's no better way to do it than to check out the merch at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. It's fucking freezing out, so get yourself a hoodie that's got the logo on it. We got Matt Can't Read merch. We've got #pizza tipping. It's also a great time to start drinking. We've got pint glasses. We've also got mugs, all kinds of stuff on there. Bucket hats, top of the line t-shirts. I'm talking, this is Target quality material, folks. I say it every time because it honestly blows me away. I'm so used to ordering merch from different shows and stuff, and it's that cheap ass brand that all those motherfuckers can buy for nothing and sell you one t-shirt for like $40 that they spent maybe $5 on to get their logo put on. And it's so uncomfortable. We all know that brand. I'm not going to say it, but we know that brand. It's terrible. I don't know why people still want to use it. That's not what you're going to get with us. All you got to do is check out snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. You're going to be able to get merch, not just for this show, but for the other show that we produce, Schemin' and Dreamin' with Ben and Jake. They've got a lot of good stuff on there too, so check that out. You can, once again, go to snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com or just hit the link in the episode description or in our Instagram bio. Like I said, folks, Matthew and I were both dealing with COVID situations right now. We are not leaving the apartments. We are locked down, and that is the best time to start using Instacart. If you didn't already have a great reason, Instacart can get you not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. Instacart is the best, and the best part is right now, Two in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. All you got to do is spend $10, and Instacart will deliver whatever you put on the list right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. You don't need to be in lockdown to use it, okay? The grocery store's always terrible. It's not just terrible when you can't go there, okay? So just avoid all that. Avoid the headache, okay? Avoid the parking lots and start using Instacart today. Make life a little bit easier on yourself, folks. Just hit the link in this episode description and you will get the deal. Free delivery on your first order of $10 or more. Start using Instacart today. The other big news, people, next Friday, January 14th, we are going to be back in the studio for another WWE SmackDown watch party. The belt is on the line. It's got no owner right now. The commissioner is holding on to the belt. Okay, somebody's got to win it, and it's all going down on Twitch next Friday at 8 p.m. The Twitch handle is snackspot_SE. Check it out. We always have a great time. Whoever makes the best joke during the stream gets the belt. It's been fucking crazy. Roman Reigns has had COVID. Brock Lesnar, I think, is like the champion right now. Shit's going down, folks, okay? And the best place to watch it is with us live on Twitch. It's snackspot_SE, the WWE SmackDown live watch party. Check it out. The link is going to be in our Instagram bio. You can just go onto Twitch and search it up. 8 p.m. Friday, January 14th for SmackDown. We'll see you there. Well, there's no good way to really jump into it, but we're back on Zoom like the old days. It's weird. I felt a lot of it's strange. It's just strange doing it though, the way that we used to.
It feels very weird right now.
Yeah, there's like God, I mean for one thing, I'm just remembering so much of the anxiety that I used to have when we would do this every week of just like is everything recording correctly? Is this going to work? Every single week we had that. Like that was a big part of the show was like what's going to happen if I mean having a fucking guest was a nightmare. There's no way. I don't know. Like, hopefully we'll be back in the studio next week, but we're never doing a Zoom guest ever again, though. That's it.
No.
And we had to do
Horrible.
every single guest like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
And we
brutal.
had, what was his name? Bill? What was our?
Oh, Craig, the recording bot
Craig.
on
Yeah, fucking
Discord.
Craig.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't know
well,
if we'd
so,
ever go back to Discord to record this thing, anyways.
not to Craig. Not to Craig. But, I mean, that's, it's the world that we live in currently.
Yep, yep. We, it is what it is. I don't even really want to talk about COVID that
No.
much, but I mean, you seem to be doing all right. Listen, old Andrew Canada must have top-notch immunity because I finally got a test today, and I'm still in the clear,
Negativo.
but
Yeah.
could be
Well,
cutting it
it's
close.
like, I found out on Monday. Today, we would record on Wednesdays. You guys are listening to this on Thursday. So I've been in my room for not, well, I guess 2 full days, almost exactly. Halfway through the day on Monday is when I found out. And it's miserable. It
Yeah,
is a disaster in here. It is a mess. It's like living in just like, there's a low quality of life in this bedroom right now. It,
yeah,
Yeah, not great living conditions. It could use a clean.
yeah. The apartment's a little jacked up over here. I didn't even. So your roommate then doesn't have COVID?
Well, when I came home on Monday, he was fine, but
Yeah,
then yesterday he wasn't feeling very well, so we think he probably does. Um, but we've just kind of been chilling separately anyway,
yeah.
because maybe he was just down and out. I haven't really talked to him much as to how he's feeling today. Um, we've just been, but one of my roommates is out of town, so
Oh,
they're
okay.
living the dream. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been annexed to the living room, which I had to do once, like back in the day, when man, it was like when it took like up to 5 days to get a test result. Like they didn't have at homes or anything, and we weren't sure if it was a moment where we weren't sure if my fiance like had it. And now I'm back living out in the living room, and it's weird. It definitely sucks. I was thinking today, like if you asked me, because I've been locked down since Saturday. I was like, if you asked me how long we had been shut down, I would have been like, I don't know, a week, week and a half. And then I realized today was Wednesday, and I was like, holy shit, there's a possibility we're just getting started. But, I figured this would be a pretty quick episode because we're both locked down here.
Yeah.
I really miss the studio. I love it in there so much. This made me appreciate it a lot more. I mean, I always
Yeah.
appreciated it, but this is like a
I
gentle
wasn't.
reminder of how shitty, like, 45 episodes of our podcast were.
Yeah. Well, hey, shitty. Don't be nice. We worked through it, but it's
Yeah.
definitely a lot more of a pain in the ass. At least we don't have to see Emily. That's one positive.
Yeah, that's great.
Um, yeah. So I'm pro that, but other than that, yeah, it definitely was a when I first was on here, kind of waiting for you, and you hopped in. I was like, damn, this sucks. But life goes on. Um, and with that being said, uh, I haven't really been up to much. I would assume you haven't either.
Nope.
Um, but I do think that there's two things we should talk about right off the jump, and that is the passing of John Madden and Betty White.
Got it. Okay. Let me start on Betty White. Betty White, 99 years old, literally what, one day from going into another year? That's crazy. You know, I was texting a lot of people about it, and I'll just say it was Joe. I was texting Joey Hardball, and he was like, you know, I can't believe Betty White is dead, blah blah blah. And it was New Year's Eve, right? So he's like, every drink tonight, every cheers goes to Betty White. And I was like, every cheers? Because I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something. No disrespect to Betty White, entertainment legend. 99 years for anybody is a huge achievement. But if you are making every single toast of the night to Betty White, you're making it about you, man. That's a disgrace. That's you, okay? That's got nothing to do with Betty White at that point, what you're doing. Maybe one for sure. One toast to Betty White, absolutely, 100%. But every single one, and then you got a crowd of people, and you have to come in there every single time and be like, and don't forget, by the way,
Yeah,
Betty White.
Betty White.
No way. But then he was like, no man, he was like, I'm a big Golden Girls fan. I used to watch with my mom. I was like, all right, you get it. He kind of schooled me a little bit, so I was like, okay, whatever you say.
Yeah. Have you seen every episode of Golden Girls, Andrew?
I haven't seen a single episode of the Golden Girls. I've seen like half an episode.
I don't even know what it's about.
It's about old ladies just hanging
Nice.
out, living together.
Awesome. Sounds cool. Yeah, speaking of New Year's Eve, there was a cool thing kind of that happened on New Year's Eve. I mean, I guess I don't know if I would say it's cool, but something I never thought of. The place that we were at first, they had a wedding going on upstairs, a New Year's Eve wedding.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I thought that's it's definitely obscure,
Mm-hmm.
but that's kind of a cool time to have a wedding.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people actually do that. That is something that specifically my fiance and I have said we don't want to do. The one thing I like about it is that, you know me, I hate New Year's Eve. Can't stand it. I don't like the obligation that there is to like make plans or whatever.
I didn't.
I just don't like it. But I do. I like that if you have a wedding to go to, then that could be your plans. But if you're somebody that has like a New Year's Eve tradition that they always do, now you have to go to somebody's wedding? That's stupid.
Yeah, I think that, but that's the thing is, like, I feel like that's a very having a New Year's Eve tradition is a family-oriented or friend-oriented.
Yes.
So, if you know that your group of friends does something every year on New Year's Eve, you're not going to plan, like, something specific.
Mm-hmm.
Not, like, just gets together, but has, like you said, a tradition. Same with your family. If your family has a tradition on New Year's Eve, you're not going to have a New Year's Eve wedding.
I guess.
And most of the people invited to a wedding are family and friends.
Yeah, but you don't necessarily know if your
What
friends have a family thing that they do every year or whatever. But also,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
mean,
you probably would.
what do you think?
Know that?
What do you think the family whose favorite holiday is New Year's Eve? What do you think that family looks like?
I don't know, but I talked to the father of the bride at the wedding.
Of course you
quite
did.
extensively.
Yeah.
I wasn't at the wedding, but he was down elsewhere, and I talked to him for a while, and he said it was a blast.
Well, of course. I mean, I think you're going to have fun at your daughter's wedding no matter what.
Yeah, but even he said he was like, I never had thought of a New Year's Eve wedding before. But he said, once they got into it, they were into it. So, and it sounded like they were having a ball. I heard the Cupid Shuffle being done and the Cha Cha Slide. I heard them both being done. Hannah even looked at me and goes, "Oh, imagine if Andrew was up there right now."
I'd just, I don't necessarily like that I do this, but I can't help it. If I'm out on the dance floor and I hear those songs, I just go dead-eyed and I just walk away.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I know, and I get that. Like I feel myself kind of looking like an asshole in that moment, but
But
I
as
feel
we've
that
talked
a lot.
about, you are an asshole.
Which again I don't necessarily appreciate about myself, but Look, there's some things I just can't. I'm just so tired of tolerating. I can't handle it.
Yeah,
And a
that
big
is
thing
fair.
is
That
those
is fair.
songs. I cannot do those songs anymore. Ugh. R.I.P. Cupid.
Yeah, Cupid, shout out. Hope he's doing well these days.
I certainly hope so. So, uh, John Madden.
John Madden. I didn't get to watch that documentary. Have you seen it?
No, is that on? What's that on?
Well, it came out on Christmas Day, I think, and I don't know that it's going on some streaming platform. Excuse me, but I don't know if it's on there yet. For some reason, I feel like January 7th is when it gets put on there, which is not today. I don't even know what today is. It's
Today
all a
might
blur.
be no. Today's January 5th. We're
January.
2 days out.
I was laying in bed today and I realized I was like, oh, I don't think I ever paid my rent. And then I realized it was January 5th and I was like, oh, I should probably pay that.
You know what? That's like a COVID thing. I think like we almost missed our rent payment because we were kind of caught up in all of that stuff, and I was like, oh
Well, I'm
shit.
just like, there's so much going on and there's nothing going on at the same time. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
trying to kind of navigate things like obligations that you have to do because you obviously can't do them, but also you have nothing to do. So you're just sitting there like just staring at walls practically. And I have to admit, like, COVID has my number. If I come within 3 miles of COVID, it freaking attaches to me.
This is
Like I must have like
yeah.
sweet nectar blood, like for COVID.
This is the second time you've had it,
Yeah, it's the third time I've tested positive though.
right?
I kind of had like a fake COVID last
Yeah.
year. Oh, not kind of around this time. It was in February of last year, but this is the second time I've confirmed had it. And I can say like I was, sick. Like I still am a little bit sick. It wasn't I've missed just wide on the whole asymptomatic thing both times. So,
Um, I mean, we don't, who knows where you got it from exactly, but you did go to the Bills game on Sunday, which I was supposed to go to. Obviously, I had to miss, but how was it?
it was a blast. It was
It
so
was.
fun. It was cold. It was snowy. It was a lot of fun. Um, and I felt fine, absolutely fine on Sunday. Absolutely fine. Had a
Yeah.
blast. And then felt fine Monday morning. Like I like randomly, in the late morning, early afternoon, I started to get hit with it. So that's when I pulled myself, benched myself, and now that they got all these fancy at home testers.
I know. Today was the first time I used one, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, very convenient.
It's good that they
Um
have them.
but it was good and I must admit I missed you. I did miss you. Your seats were not next to us, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't have even seen you. But they were right. They were very close to a lot of our other family. It was a fun time. It was a fun
Yeah.
time. And the Bills won. I've never sat anywhere like that for a Bills game. It was very very cool.
I know those were good seats. I
Yeah,
was looking at the
yeah,
tickets, but whatever. There's a lot to be said for sitting in like, bad seats too. Like I love going to any sporting event. Not that I've ever really had like great. Actually, I've had great seats a couple times, but terrible seats way more often. And sometimes those are like the most fun for sure.
yeah. And give or take, it depends. I'm not a big terrible seat guy. I have to admit I'm a bit of a ticket snob.
It's
I
different
don't
for
like sitting in
football
terrible
though. I
seats.
think hockey
Yeah, football.
and basketball specifically. Give me 300s because I love seeing it all.
It's definitely it's a different perspective. But there's something about a hockey game that when you're sitting close to the ice compared to sitting up top, you want to sit somewhere where you can still see like the majority of the game. I get that aspect of it, but when you're sitting close to the ice, you realize like how big and strong and fast those guys actually are, how talented they
Yeah,
actually are.
yeah.
Whereas when you're sitting up top, it looks like it is when you're watching it on TV, and it's still cool to be there and stuff like that. And yeah, you can see the whole ice very well. But when you're down there and you can see those guys like at more of a human level, it's incredible how talented, how big they are. Even with the football game, I mean, the football game I'll say was a lot harder to watch when when you have like a weird angle like that. But it was, I mean, some of those dudes are just massive.
I've never been around any professional football players, but I'd like to see like just you never know, like it's like Shaq, right? Like you can see these crazy pictures of Shaq, standing next to whoever, and it's like, oh my God, that guy's a giant. But you see one of these dudes in person, and it's a whole different situation. I got to see, yeah, never been around like a guy that tall
Sorry,
before. Yeah, no problem.
I
I
was
know you were
sneaking in a
blowing your
nose
nose.
blow.
But
Yeah, but
although there was an insanely tall guy at Wegmans the other day. But imagine being
how
that
tall?
tall. I'm so bad at guessing this, but I would say 11 feet, probably about 11 feet tall. And the thing about
Yeah, that
super
was a pretty
tall
bad
guys,
guess.
I'll say two things about super tall guys. One, um, their girlfriends are always really short, which is crazy. I don't know how it's
Well,
literally every
everybody's
single
short
time.
compared to
Yeah,
them.
but like shorter than average height these girls are. And it's not just that they look short compared to this guy, because like you said, everybody does. It's just they are short. And it's every single time. And I don't know how that happens. But the other thing, imagine being a real tall guy. And again, I'm bad at this, but if I had to guess, the guy I saw at Wegmans maybe like 12 and a half feet tall. Imagine being that tall and like not just everybody coming up to you and like assuming you play basketball and like wanting to just ask you how tall you are and stuff. That would get
If you're
I
that tall, you
just
should just wear a shirt that says like I'm 7 foot
your
one.
measurements on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't they just tattoo their height right on their wrist, Matthew? I bet you would love that.
No. First of all, I that's not
Perfect time to freeze up.
what I was saying.
Uh,
Like, you're going to Disney World and you're a really, really tall guy. Which actually, that's a place where it also sucks to be tall because there's rides that you can't go on because you're too tall.
yeah, I've never seen. I wonder how they know like somebody has to come up to them at each ride and be like, "You're too tall to go on this," because they obviously have height measuring, stations for to see if people are tall enough. They don't have those to see if somebody is too tall.
I feel like when you see somebody that's too tall, you know.
Yeah.
Like you're like, we should measure you.
We should
And I
measure
think
you.
if you're too tall for a ride and they have to if there's a question of whether or not you're too tall for a ride and they have to bring out the stick, you probably just shouldn't go on that ride.
Imagine being in line with like a ton of people and somebody with a Disney shirt on just brings out a giant stick to hold next to you, and everybody's
Well, you know
watching.
what I mean? If they're like, you might
Oh
be too
yeah,
tall to go on Space Mountain, it's like, you know what? I'm not even going to risk it. I probably should not hop on
because
this.
that
Because I'm six
yeah,
two, almost 6'3", and Space Mountain is terrifying to go on.
that's Decapitation Station right there, Space
Yeah.
Mountain.
You don't want to be on the fence of that.
I need to. Oops. Sorry.
Oh, so what? So you're. I know. I'm trying to hold myself together here. So what have you been doing then at home? What have you been watching? I saw you were watching. You sent us that video. You watching Doctor Who?
Yes. Well, I'll tell you straight up. First of all, heavy Lego week. I'll tell you what. Heavy week for Legos, bud. Um,
And you got some Legos for Christmas, so you had some.
yeah. So those are still. I am midway through the Seinfeld Lego. Um,
Did you start my Lego yet?
no, I haven't started it yet.
I saw a video on
Which I have it
TikTok.
right here. This is what
Yeah.
Matthew got me for Christmas, everybody. It's
So
the
do
Infinity
the
Gauntlet Lego.
There's a chance that
sick.
it lights up, Andy.
No way.
Maybe I didn't buy you the LE pack, but I saw it on TikTok, and the Infinity
Yeah.
Stones in the gauntlet were lit up.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way this thing lights up, but they
You
definitely
think Buddy
sell.
installed his own LEDs?
Well,
It was the same one. I swear, it was the same
yeah.
one.
I mean, he
Or is
might
it like
he might have. You should see the shit that I see on
the
Instagram that people
mods?
do. Yeah, the Lego mods, honestly. Um, but they sell a lot of like light things for excuse me, for different sets. Let's see. Yeah, I did. I think the only one I've done so far is I did the sick Harry Potter 20th anniversary Lego set. That's the scene is them running into Fluffy, the three-headed dog in the first movie.
Yeah.
So it's got a Fluffy, Lego, and it's got the big, Hermione, Ron, Harry little minifigures, and it's so cool. There's like a little compartment that's like the devil's snare thing, and I don't know. I'm having
The devil's snare.
devil's snare.
Relax.
See, but speaking of Doctor Who, I was wondering if did you just watch all the Harry Potters like recently, or are you doing that
I
now?
just rewatched them recently.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
yeah.
just rewatched them recently.
Have you watched the like anniversary thing on HBO Max?
No, because I got kicked off of HBO Max.
Oh, right,
Is
right,
that
right.
the yeah, but that came out though, right?
Yeah, it's like a 20-year.
What about the house? What about the House of Champions thing
Yeah, that's
or
also
whatever?
out. Which I have not gone for. I haven't, tried it out yet, but it looks like it's just the streaming version of DVD games. Remember DVD games?
Yeah. Yeah, like the Lion
Lion
King
King
one
one
and
and
a
a
half.
half.
Yeah, the truth.
Damn straight.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Man, we really like if there were any Da Vinci Code esque Easter eggs on that DVD, we found them for sure. Because
Yeah. Well,
we tore through that DVD. We
I
watched
remember
it like I remember watching
sitting
that movie with the commentary from Timon and Pumbaa, which is crazy.
I remember sitting there. Yeah, the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had a disc with that. I do remember that as well. I remember sitting there in mom and dad's bedroom on that bed with that silver, like old school, like TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, holy shit.
Just like every night, just excuse me, playing the same game. And I would, you memorize like what different paths, which ones they take you. So I would try to always like do the ones that I thought were really fun. There was one that was some type of like slide,
Yeah.
from what I recall.
There was some kind of sliding thing. There was like a whole Who Wants to Be a Millionaire thing. There was
Yeah,
a Rafiki game. Shout out to Rafiki. He'd be good. We got to
yeah.
remember Rafiki for like a who would win
Who would win in the
because he'd
week?
be great.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things. Oh God, you ever like go up to somebody and you just rub your thumb across their forehead and go Simba?
No.
Start doing it because it's goddamn hilarious.
Um. Well, no, I've definitely never done that.
See, it's
Just
such a
thinking about
different
doing that.
man. It's a different vibe over Zoom. It's it's still fun. Like I'm still having fun talking to you, obviously, but it's a whole different situation.
Yeah, it is, but you got to do it for the people.
Oh yeah,
Andy. We do it
absolutely.
for the people, and for the
Which
kids, and for the troops.
oh shit, what the?
Uh oh. Uh oh.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah. Classic.
Just an alarm going
Ugh.
off.
I know.
That's what happens.
My,
Hey, we're not in the studio, although that would have happened in the studio anyways, for sure. Because I
I know.
always am like that. But God, I'm just looking
So
around at all this stuff on my desk. I
yeah, my room is. It's almost distracting me, like how gross
I have this.
my room is.
I wanted to this was like a month ago or something, or maybe longer. I've always wanted to smell like sandalwood. I always thought that sandalwood is like has got to be the best smell that a
What the
person
hell
can
is
have.
sandalwood?
Sandalwood. I have no idea, but it's like a smell. It's a scent. So I was like, I wonder, because I used to have some kind of sandalwood soap, and it was terrible, and it wouldn't make you smell like sandalwood. I was like, I want to smell like sandalwood. I wonder if they make sandalwood deodorant. So I went on Amazon, and I had to buy. You can only get this in the store in Mexico. So I have like um, this Spanish sandalwood spray deodorant, and it just smells like Axe body spray. It's terrible. I wore it for like 2 weeks, and my fiance was like, "You have to stop doing that."
Tell it like it is. Yeah, I have. I I don't. My least favorite thing in the world is probably coconut, but I do have a chocolate coconut patty sitting next to me. I have so much shit. Um, I have a COVID home test like laid out on my desk. Um, One thing I did want to talk about today was um, confirmation of the who'd win in the week 2021 Tournament of Champions.
Oh yes.
Because Luke Skywalker did lock himself in as the official champion. Question for you: do you think he will ever lose?
I don't know. I mean, if we do like an all-time champions thing ever, like years down the road, he's gonna be really tough to beat.
Well, here's the problem: is that we set up the format so that the previous year's champion fights in the next tournament.
Oh, that's true. Well, let's not worry about that now, huh?
Let's worry about that in another 51.
Yeah, exactly. We got 51
Yeah.
weeks to come up with a problem solving. Besides, who knows? Maybe even one of the contestants today will be able to knock him down a peg.
No.
I love it.
Uh,
While we're looking around at stuff, I also wanted to just, we're just hanging out, man. We're just
just
we
having
got
fun.
nothing going on. This is it. I wanted to show you. So there's this app called Shortboxed. No free ads, but it's a sick app. And you can buy like comic books on there, graded ones like we talked about with Andrew on that football card episode. So I've gone on there and I've been going absolutely insane. But I've got some like really cool stuff. And I was hoping you would maybe be interested in like seeing some of it. Because these are like,
yeah, I would love to. Going insane, I thought, oh yeah, your only rules was stop spending money on X-Men stuff.
yes, which
Is there any X-Men
this is
stuff
a
in
part
there?
of that. Yeah, this is a big reason
Okay.
for that. So, I mean, top notch. This is just fun for me. I don't know if there's anybody in the world
Ooh.
that actually wants this comic book, but it's a. And sorry about the glare. Oh, that's a little.
No,
bright.
it looks really cool.
Yeah, this one's got like holographic stuff. It's Venom. It's Funeral Pyre with Venom and the Punisher. I'm honestly a big Venom guy. Venom is like,
Yeah.
he's super weird now, but like the OG Venom, like very cool, very cool.
9.4.
Yes, 9.4. The grades are going to get lower. Yeah, they're going to get lower as we go on because the comics themselves are getting more valuable. And
Okay.
as long as they like look acceptable, I don't really care about the grade, especially now.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, it's just cool to own this thing. So this one's
Yeah, but you can't even read that, huh?
no, it's crazy. I putting some on the wall and stuff, and that's the one that my fiance gave me for Christmas, and she's looking at it and she's like, "So can you open this?" And I was like, "No, you can't," which I agree is funny and like a waste, but when
Can you, how do you ever know what happens inside that comic?
I don't know, you can look it up online. You can maybe try and find like an ungraded copy that's like real shitty and stuff. But this one is one that I've always wanted, and it's Amazing Spider-Man 252, which is not the first appearance of this suit, because that's in Secret Wars number 8.
Okay.
But it's the first appearance of the black suit in like the Spider-Man comics. So that's
Okay.
like a huge deal.
That's a 6. That thing's rated a 6.
Yes, that's a 6. It's got white to off-white pages. This is a 3.5. This is Fantastic Four.
You spent money on something rated a 3.5.
Yeah, but look at this, man. It's a Fantastic Four number 28. First time the Fantastic Four and the X-Men ever met up. How cool is that? And just look at how kind of like look at his arm right here. Look at how kind of like, I mean, obviously he's stretching. He's Mr. Fantastic, but it just doesn't look, it just looks a little off. It's crazy.
Is that why it's 3.5?
No. It's 3.5 because well, it
Got some
doesn't say on
discoloration.
here. Discoloration, you know, there's some, you know, a
The
few
entire
chips
inside
over
of the
there.
book is just missing. It's
Yeah,
just the cover
it's just the
page.
cover.
Yeah. They had to re-staple it together.
And this, again, X-Men 2.5.
Oh, not a 2.5.
But dude, look
You can't
at
be
it.
spending
Look
money
at how
on a
cool that
2.5.
is.
You can't even open it.
It doesn't matter. That's not the
You'll
point.
never know what goes on inside of that book.
Of course.
You said get yourself a low-rated one so that you can like get it for cheap. That's a 2.5.
Yeah. It's still, but
What's
look,
lower
like
than
it's
that?
pretty good for a 2.5. It's got,
Let me see.
you know, where the fuck does it say? It's got cream to off-white pages. You know, there's definitely a little bit of chipping and stuff, but dude, it's so crazy. Like this is like the way they make comic books today. The paper is so glossy. It's almost like the pages are made of plastic. This is literally like this is basically notebook
comic book.
This is like
Yeah.
composition notebook. And Jack Kirby is just like doodling on it, and they're like, "Yep, this is good. Nobody will ever give a shit about these again, so whatever."
And now you're spending $100 for a 2.5.
And this is the
Oh,
craziest.
there's another.
This is another 2.5. This is the last one I've got to show you. This is the craziest comic that I own. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 14. Do you know what this is?
No.
First appearance of the Green Goblin. Ever.
How much? Can I ask you a personal question?
You absolutely can.
How much does a 2.5 of that cost?
Probably,
How much?
Probably not as much as you think,
How
but
much does like a 9.5 cost?
oh my god, a 9.5. I mean, I'm just guessing because I've never really seen
Spitballing.
like a price for one. But if I had to guess, 9.5 for a Green Goblin, which that probably doesn't even exist in the world.
Yeah.
But if it did, my guess would be somewhere around $30,000,
Okay.
something like that, give or take.
So what's a 2.5 run you? $80?
Yeah, about $80. I'm not gonna say how much I paid for it, but it's not. Although I'm actually probably gonna sell this one. So if anybody wants to buy 2.5 graded Green Goblin first appearance, it's a great book.
Wait. So this is something I never considered.
Mm-hmm.
How do they not factor in the grading versus like? Well, I guess they don't know, but you're saying there is no 9.5 out there.
Probably.
So like, what's the high? Like, say the highest is an 8. Doesn't that technically make an 8 a 10?
No. Because
Well, because the scale is overall, not for individual books.
Exactly.
But that's why the pricing doesn't really make sense. But what are you gonna do?
But it's crazy how much more like a graded item. I mean, it raises it by like 200% sometimes. It's unbelievable. I will say something I thought was funny on there was on that short box app is like that movie The Eternals. People were trying to sell, you know, high grade copies of The Eternals on that app for like, you know, $1,000 or whatever before the movie came out, and then the movie came out and it went back down to like $100.
Oh, that's tough.
Which says a lot about it. But anyways, you know, I just get excited about that stuff. Thanks for sitting there.
No, I think it's cool too. I mean, I don't know what any of it means, but I do think it's cool to see. So, here's my last question though. If it's so much more expensive to get graded stuff, why not get ungraded stuff?
Because
And then you could fucking read it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, would you even really want to read it? I mean, I'm just put yourself in the shoes of like a collector, right? Like, do you really want to like take it out and risk the the oils on your hands damaging it, something you turn a page and perhaps there's an accidental rip. Like that's all it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it to do that.
What about so the comic books that you have that are ungraded that you think are pretty top tier, you don't read?
No, usually right off the newsstand I will read them, but it's also sometimes you don't know when
What's
it
going to be worth
right what's
something?
going to be worth something when it like sometimes like well,
Well, because do you still get new comics every month when they come out?
yeah, I still collect Spider-Man. Fuck, sorry about that, Mike, folks. I still collect Spider-Man, uh, The Flash, and Justice League. I get those every month. And I started sleeve. So see how the ones behind me, none of those are graded, but they're all in bags. They've all got like plastic coverings and stuff. Um, Now I've been doing every single comic book that I own is bagged and boarded for a couple reasons. One, I'm a lunatic and I just want it all to look uniform and like very cool. But two, it keeps them in good condition for whatever because
In case one pops hot?
in case one pops hot, absolutely. But also like if there's a series that maybe not all of the individual books are, or there aren't individual books that are a big deal, you can still make money if you have like a full run of a comic. If
Oh, I see. So
because
if you have like volume 1 through 30, if they come out
yeah,
with
if you
30
have
volumes,
Flash
yeah.
third series number 1 through 247, which was the last issue of that. Now I'm just flexing my comic knowledge. I did not need to use that specific of an example. Um, you could sell that again. That's something that not necessarily anybody would want except for myself. But if you sold it as a set, you could definitely get a lot more money potentially.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. 'Cause I never been pretty. Is my volume sound okay?
Yeah, you sound all right.
Oh, okay. I'm just always highlighted blue. I didn't know that. Usually it's like it highlights whoever's talking, you
Yeah,
know?
it's switching back and forth on mine.
Well, mine, I'm always highlighted blue, but then when I talk, there's a little,
Yeah, a little guy.
you know what I mean?
Hmm.
A little squishy. Oh,
Yeah, I see.
yeah.
Oh golly. I told Emily I would take notes
Haven't been
for
really.
clipping. I've written 3 things down. Whatever.
Yeah, because we don't care, Emily. Figure it out. How about you watch the damn episode, do your job? Um, uh, I haven't been doing like anything relevant. Like I haven't started a new show series. I haven't. I watched one movie. Um, I've been playing a lot of Xbox at night. I
Hmm.
guess in between naps. Um, but I've still been watching Scorpion. Which I know that you for some reason give me a hard time about. Where
Yeah,
you
I don't know
watch mad
why.
obscure shit.
I just there's something about that show that it was. You know what? It was a good show, but I don't think I'd ever rewatch it. It only ran for a couple seasons, right?
Yeah, I will say like I'm already on the back half of season 2, and I'm like quickly losing disinterest
Yeah.
because it's a cool premise, but it ends up being the same thing over and over again. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like they're super smart, so they solve an issue.
Right.
And you kind of it's the Jack and Diane effect. You kind of wait
Sam
for
and Diane?
whatever the hell it's called
Yeah.
when they fall in love.
Yeah.
Jack and
Sam
Diane.
and Diane.
Yeah,
Because it's from
Sam and
Cheers.
Diane
It's not
effect.
referencing the,
Yeah,
the John Mellencamp
I don't
song.
know. A little ditty about Jack and Diane. Because you wait for Walter and Paige to fall in love,
Sure.
and I don't even really know if they do, but I'm assuming they're gonna. So I'm already ready to check out. And like I don't know, Walter's just so he's just like he's so I can't. This is gonna sound mean, but I can't believe anybody would ever love him. Like I could see being his friend, but like if somebody goes to give him a hug, he's worse than you are. He's like he gets
Yeah.
so uncomfortable and like he has no ability to display like real emotion.
Yeah. Yeah, the emotion I obviously would display at least is I don't want that.
Yeah, which you do often.
Well, only when you
And I'm
try,
a little
only when you're
sad. I
coming
wish I
at
could
me.
give you a hug right now.
Well, good thing we're on Zoom.
Yeah, seriously, for you. And nobody will ever see that except for you and I, unless they watch us on
Yeah,
YouTube.
exactly. This
Yeah,
is gonna
true,
be on
true, true.
YouTube tomorrow.
Fair. A little ditty about Jack and Diane. My thing about Xbox is I get so angry. I am so bad at losing things, like
Yeah.
that. Even losing a game of Xbox like ruins my entire day.
Yeah, I was just watching a show where these two guys. Well, it was an episode of Letterkenny, and the hockey players they lose at Chell, which is the NHL video game for anybody who doesn't know.
It's actually not called Shell, but yeah,
Yeah, but that's what if you know you know, like if you play it,
that's
that's
what we
what you
call it.
call it.
Yeah,
And they lose, and they're just like getting so angry, and they start like smashing holes in walls. And like I remember a couple times when we were growing up not going into the basement when I needed to because I could hear you screaming down there and just losing it. And I was like, I don't want any part of what's happening down there.
oh, I still get it's infuriating.
It's infuriating. Infuriating.
Infuriating. Infuriating.
Yeah.
And sports video games are like that because sometimes like you just can't. It's just you just can't do what you are supposed to do, and it's so frustrating. Does that make sense? Because it's a video game.
Right, as opposed to, especially you being a hockey player. Do you mean like,
Yeah,
knowing
you
a
just
move?
can't, like,
Right. It's well, it doesn't translate exactly to like what a person could do on the ice in real
like
life.
the AI in the game is just not that intelligent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so infuriating. Fuck. What's the word? I'm just gonna pass.
Infuriating.
I haven't put together a thought since who the fuck knows.
Yeah, my brain has been toast recently.
I didn't even know what day
since
of the week
lockdown.
it was, but then I realized it was Wednesday because
Yeah.
I knew we had to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Low bridge,
Everybody
everybody.
down.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Uh,
Why don't we jump into the who would win of the week?
yeah, we could do
I'm just
that.
having a good time, man. I've
Yeah.
got my
I've
Spidey
just been
glass.
looking at
I'm
you.
drinking some Guinness.
Yeah, what do you got in there? You got a stout?
Yeah, Guinness.
You're drinking a Guinness right now. Is it warm?
No,
Oh, that's how they drink them, Andy. Come
it's
on.
like it's not. Well, when you say it's not hot, it's like
It's room temperature.
yeah, it's like regular temperature. Yeah,
Was it in the fridge?
it was in the fridge like earlier, and then I
Oh.
took it out for a while
You took it out to warm it up before
to
you
let
drank
it. It's like sushi. You gotta like let it sit for a while.
Yeah, let it thaw.
Yeah, let
Uh-huh.
it thaw.
Uh-huh. Wow. I didn't know you were a Guinness guy.
Really?
No, I thought it looked like it was a really weird looking Coca-Cola in that glass when I was watching you drink it.
Sure is one
Yeah.
funky looking soda pop.
It's a Guinness. I didn't know that.
That's
Was there a little
my-
ball in the can?
No, it was in a bottle.
Oh.
Somebody had gifted them to me, which I do appreciate. But yeah, Guinness is my favorite beer, like
Really?
by far. I can't believe you didn't know that about me. Not that I drink a
No.
whole lot, but
No.
when I do, I drink out of
The
a
last
Spider-Man
time I
cup.
had the last time I had a beer with you was in Fredonia, and
Really?
I had to convince you. No, I don't know if that's true. Really, the last time, but I had to convince you for an hour to come meet us at a bar.
Yeah.
And you came in. I told you I'd get you a drink. You got like a Southern tea or something
IPA.
on tap. Sucked it back, and then we're like, "All right, see ya," and just left.
Yeah. Big regret of mine for sure. I actually think about that night like a lot because I'm like, man, I do wish I should have stayed out, but I was so tired and like, look,
I don't blame you. I don't even remember why I was there, what we did.
I know, yeah, I think you were just hanging
Sure,
out. I
nothing
know
productive.
Adriano was there.
Yeah.
But, look, when you go to Fredonia, there's two things that happen when you're there for a while. Like me, you know, I've never been a big going out guy in the first place, but there, when you go there for, I mean, I only went there for 3 years. You're either going to get tired of it or it's going to take over your fucking life. And I've seen both, and I'm okay with being the first
tired
one.
of it.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely the better of the two.
I mean, I think so. Some of those guys, holy shit. See their Snapchats still to this day and be like, what the fuck
They're still living down
doing?
there. Yeah. People are still living
Like,
down
you're
there.
crazy, but, you know, different strokes for different folks. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm having a blast.
I'm
just kicking it, man. I don't care. Look, we're on Zoom. All bets are off. I don't give two fucks.
I'm staring at this Hershey Kiss candy cane, and I want one so bad.
Oh, man. I haven't had one of those in years.
Oh, I got this looks good too. I'm definitely eating this later. Almond butter crunch patty. I didn't even know I had that.
Do you remember?
Sorry,
do you remember when we were in Alaska and we met that guy who like owned the candy store, and he was like the human version of Eeyore?
Yeah, he was so depressed. He was spitting the taffy.
No, he was folding over peanut brittle. He was making peanut brittle, and so he had like this massive. It was the whole counter was taken up with like this hot peanut brittle goo that you have to like thin out and let cool so that it actually becomes peanut brittle. And this guy who was the owner of the store, he's just flipping it around, and he's like, we're talking to him, and he's like, yep, been here my whole life, probably never go anywhere else, just flipping over that sad peanut brittle. That shit tasted really good though. Do you think that guy's killed himself yet? Like,
yeah,
honestly,
chances are, yeah.
Probably. R.I.P.
Yeah. Well, I know what I think about all the time that has nothing to do with Alaska, but we've talked about it before, is the people that are still in their bunkers.
I can, yeah, once in a while you'll, like, throw that out there, and I'd be like, okay, this is something that he thinks about a lot. Yeah.
All the time, man. Because, like, I think about it almost every day.
Well, let's just make sure to say people know there's still, like...
I'll look up the exact number because I want to say it's like
I think it's like thousands.
A couple thousand.
Yeah, or close to that. But these are people who are still in their Y2K bunkers, who thought the world was going to end, and they're just hanging out down there. There's an estimated number of people that have not left their bunkers since 1999. Because they were afraid of Y2K. Some of them, perhaps even earlier, maybe they got a head start and went down in 98 and were like, see ya. How long... what do you got?
Well, it's just like, there's no number. But it's just... somewhere there's a number.
It's at least hundreds, if not, 1,000 or 2,000 people.
But, like... this is a Reddit thread of people that are like, of people saying like, yeah, there's still people, they've been down there for like 22 years now. You know what I mean? Since it's just the new year.
How long?
And then somebody replies to the thread and fires back, Betty White would have been 100 if we would have skipped all the February 29th while she was alive. Somebody fired that back. So.
That is hilarious. That's a good call.
Well, I guess you'd have to do the math as to how many days how many days away her birthday is versus how many days were wasted by February 29th.
Yeah.
Because it happens every 4 years. So, 25 days. Is her birthday within 25 days?
I think it is. I think it's actually pretty close.
She would be.
I think Joe told me, he's like, and just a month away from her 100th birthday. Perfect Joe impression, by the way. Spot on.
Yeah, not bad. But anyway, like these people, what if they decided right now was the time to come out of their Y2K bunker?
Well, I was going to ask you while you had your phone to look up. Because I think the thing with Y2K was like the computers are all going to go crazy and then all of the nukes are going to
crash.
Causing all the nukes
Everything.
to launch.
The whole world was going to, yeah.
So how long does it take? Because I think if you're going into a bunker and if you are committing to a bunker, you for sure know how long it takes for radiation to dispel, for it to be safe for you to go back up top. So when are all these people who lived, because some of
Gonna
them
emerge.
have just never came out. Some of them are dead in those bunkers, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
how long are
Some
the
of them
few
have
people
eaten
that are
like their
alive?
family, I'm sure.
Like, that is going to be a bigger. You know how there's those stories about people waking up from comas,
well, there
like
was
20-year
one article
comas?
that said, yeah.
It's going to be like bigger than that. These people are going to be on the Today Show. Do you think there's some people? No, probably not, because back then the world was a little less media savvy in that way. You know what I mean? And there was certainly a
Yeah.
less of a desire to be famous in the specific way that social media has created. So there's probably not necessarily anybody who went down in a bunker and is just like, I'm only staying in this. I'm pretty sure everything's going to be fine, but I'm only staying in this bunker to be on the Today Show in 43 years or however long it takes for a Chernobyl level event to dispel.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, people are starting to go back to Chernobyl, aren't they?
I think so. I did not watch the
um,
miniseries.
um, this is well, this came out in 2016. No, 2014. This was dumb. Man emerges from bunker 14 years after Y2K scare. So this dude was in there for 14 years, and he probably tapped and just said, "Fuck it, before I die, I might as well see what's going on."
Right.
And he came up, and everything was fine. But like right now would possibly be the worst time to come up from your bunker. Like, I think we're good.
Oh my
And you
god.
walk into a world that you probably want to just somebody sees you walk out, and they're like, honestly, just close you back in. We
Where's
don't
your
want to be out
mask?
here right now. Yeah. They're like, what? And they think it all stemmed from Y2K.
Right.
They have no clue.
Of course. Why wouldn't you? That would make the most sense.
Well, what I don't understand is how there's still people in their bunkers, because wouldn't they have installed some type of radio communication down there?
I mean, some of them, but not every one.
So those people should have just came right back out, no?
And maybe they did.
Also-
Maybe those aren't the ones that
also-
we're talking about.
How sure do you think the world, like everybody else in the world was that like nothing was going to go wrong on Y2K? Like, do you think they were 100? Or do you think there was a little bit of like, okay, yeah, let's celebrate New Year's Eve?
For sure. And I'll tell you how I know that, because that's how I felt on New Year's Eve 2011. Because remember 2012 is when the world was supposed to end because the Mayan calendar?
Yeah.
I remember we were at Noah Asklar's house in their like back room, and I remember watching the ball drop and being like, okay, all right, we're good.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, because I was playing in a hockey game in 2015 when the Mayan calendar ran it back and said the world was going to end at like 6 p.m. And I was playing in a hockey game.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a giant clock with the time on it, like the real time, not the game time, in the rink. And a few of us being like, we got 1 minute.
Yeah.
Better have a good shift. Better go out there and have a good shift. Because we're all going to die. And then we were fine. Game went on. So I've never thought about owning a bunker. I would be more of own a compound guy.
Sure.
If I was going to prepare for the apocalypse. Like, I'd want like a big like ranch, you know what I mean? And like a barn and like you know, like a kind of start my own army style.
Right. But again, if we're talking about nuclear apocalypse, bunker's the only way to go.
I just shoot the nuke with my guns. I just shoot at it.
Like
as
that
it came
guy
in to hit
in
us.
Don't Look Up.
Yeah, exactly. Who's shooting the
That
comet?
was funny. I'm glad we watched that movie.
Yeah.
I have a good
Yeah, me too.
who would win that I don't want to use today on a Zoom,
Yeah.
but
Lock it in.
yeah,
We should get to the who would win of the week, though, since we're here.
I agree. Ready?
Yeah, well, I'm ready.
Okay, just making sure you were waiting for me to tee it up. This week's Who Would Win,
Yeah.
I am honestly very excited for. Jake Peralta from Brooklyn Nine-Nine versus the man himself, Paul Blart. Jake Peralta versus Paul Blart. This week's Who Would Win? Paul Blart, the first Paul Blart, is to this day the movie that I went to see the most times in theaters. I saw Paul Blart 4 times in the theater. That is my number one. People just kept asking me to go, so of course I went. And you know what? I liked that movie a lot. I still like that. Well, I'm not gonna say I still like it, but it's better than I think people give it credit for. Like, it's not terrible.
Isn't there a second one?
There is a Paul Blart 2. That one's also not great. But while I'm talking Blart, I just want to say, in general, people sometimes will shit on Kevin James because of Paul Blart specifically. And you're a lunatic. King of Queens is honestly a phenomenal show. And I know that maybe it's like, oh, fat guy and his hot wife, whatever. I'm telling you, that show
I don't mind
is
King
so
of Queens.
fucking funny.
The dad is funny.
Exactly. Arthur Spooner,
Yeah.
Jerry Stiller, again, killing it with another sitcom role and just blowing it out of the water. Arthur
Well, he's
Spooner,
just good at being the dad of.
he really is.
the annoying
Dad. He's just good at doing his thing. Arthur Spooner has a lot of moments that match Frank Costanza, without a doubt. That is a phenomenal Who Would Win of the Week to keep in mind, actually.
Yeah.
But getting back on track.
Peanut butter and jelly. That's probably my. And when he puts on the whole, my favorite scene in that movie used to be that one when his phone rings, and when he puts on all the goalie gear.
Yeah.
Or no, he doesn't. He fake puts it on. Doesn't he put it on? Doesn't he put the mannequin on the Segway and send the Segway in?
At one point, I'm pretty sure he has the goalie stuff on.
But then at one point he uses it as a decoy. I think.
At one point.
I don't think he ever puts it on. I think he only
No,
uses
I
it as
swear
a
to God, he
decoy.
puts it on. I feel like I remember his eyes opening, like behind somebody in the goalie mask.
I think he hides in it and hits him with a stick. Yeah.
Something like that. Which
I think you're right.
leads into this point. How resourceful is Paul Blart?
Very.
Insanely resourceful. Maybe, perhaps the most.
Also diabetic, though.
He's not diabetic. He's got hypoglycemia.
Oh.
Although he probably has diabetes as well. But I don't know if those are mutually
Here's the thing, though, is
exclusive.
that Jake Peralta, these two are kind of in the same category because Jake Peralta's like a goofball, so everybody said he and is, look like, not in the greatest shape, kind of whatever, so everybody assumes he's incapable. But deep down, they both have some pretty, like, good skills as far as, the way that they do things,
Sure.
although they may be obscure.
Real police or detective work.
They're both underdog stories.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess I'll put it like
Yeah,
that.
but people really expect nothing from them, and then when it comes crunch time, both of these guys are about as dependable as you can get. Physically, Paul Blart is obviously larger, but you make a good call with the hypoglycemia. When does that become a factor? If he is not able to dispel Jake Peralta quickly enough, that shit's going to kick in, and he's going to need a pixie stick.
Well, the other thing about it, too, is that Paul Blart is very good at thinking on his feet, and that was advantage him in the movie because the guy, the crime boss, or whatever you want to call him, the guy that was heading the robbery, was so unsure that nothing would go wrong that he didn't really have any type of a backup plan, except for to kind of chase Paul Blart frantically around a mall that Paul Blart obviously knows better than anybody. Whereas Jake Peralta, I feel like, is very good at creating these weird, obscure plans that end up tricking people into doing exactly what he wants them to do when they actually think they're beating him out in the first place by doing it. But he's really kind of forcing their hand into it without them even knowing.
That is an excellent point. I mean, to show some examples, obviously you see that from Jake in the Halloween episodes, all the heist episodes. He's obviously a
Yeah.
guy who excels when he can put together a very involved plan. He's got top-notch plans. But if you look at the episode where he's talking to that dentist, the whole episode is him interrogating that dentist. In the moment, he really struggles to come up with ideas on how to try and get a confession out of that guy, right? So in a fight, when you got to think on your feet, again, advantage Blart.
But yes, but if Peralta has time to come up with a plan, then Blart's thinking on his feet would probably hurt him because Peralta would probably consider that.
That's true.
Because that's how he does it.
Yeah.
So can Jake Peralta come up with an initial plan that will defeat Paul Blart? I thought I was gonna go with. I'm going to have to go with Blart. I'm going to have to agree with you here. And the reason that I say that is because you're right. If he doesn't have time to come up with a plan, he's not as good at coming up with a plan kind of as it goes.
Jake,
he needs
is.
to be able to develop that and think it all the way through.
Yeah.
And in that time, the time that it would take to do that, Blart would be able to think on his feet, probably take him out. Then the pixie stick would never come into play.
Yeah, the one interesting thing, though, is with Paul Blart, like you said, he does know that mall better than anyone. And I will say...
And that's to advantage.
Yeah, and Peralta, with the Halloween heists and stuff, those, I'm pretty sure all, if not mostly, take place in
in the station.
Yeah, in the station. So, again... both kind of dependent on home field advantage, but I do think Peralta
So when
has...
you take both of that out...
I guess so, but I do think Peralta has a little more experience with away games. But
Yes.
I guess because of the dependence on pre-planning, that, again, does not really become a factor. So
Yep.
I will say, always bet on Blart. Always bet on Blart.
Yeah, always bet on Blart.
He's the man.
They're both underdog stories, though. Who knows?
Yeah.
It would be, we'll see.
It's
what
a
the
good
people
fight.
Say. So
I
vote on
think
that.
it's a good fight.
Ooh. So vote on that on Friday on our Instagram. Let us know. Remember, I don't know if this is how everybody else's brains work, but this is how mine works. From here on out, my brain is thinking 51 weeks from now, when we do the Tournament of Champions, who's going to come out on top.
Yeah, that's a factor now, and I have been thinking that way this week as well. I wonder if, though, at some point that'll kind of dissipate as we get further from the actual tournament. Not for you, maybe for me.
No.
But, we'll see.
Failure to prepare is preparing to fail, Andrew.
All right, sounds good. I'll put that down in my notes.
Yeah, write that down in
Yeah.
the notes. Make sure Emily clips that.
Okay.
Well, at this point, we battled through another Zoom one, Andy.
I know.
We got through
I
it.
can't believe it.
It's different, but we do it. We do it for the people. We do it for the troops. We do it for the kids. And I'm tapped out. This is the most activity I've done, and I can't wait to take a nap. Probably eat some Moe's. I think I'm going to order some Moe's.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm hungry. It's so ridiculous that I could walk to Moe's faster than I could order it, but I have to order it because I have
Yeah.
to have them drop it off at my door.
Yeah. Well, get something to eat and keep taking care of yourself. Keep taking it easy.
You as well.
I
You as well.
want to do 2 quick shout-outs to Money Set. We were supposed to have 2 great rappers from Money Set. You can check them out at moneyset_the label on Instagram. I said it in the intro, but one of those guys, Hoodstar Jack, he's got an EP out right now that literally just came out, and it's really good. You have to check it out. Like I said, again, link's going to be in the episode description. But I appreciate those guys for working with us. We're going to reschedule and stuff like that. They're really cool dudes, so make sure you look into them if you haven't already. And I want to say thanks to everybody for sticking with us during another Zoom episode. I just can't believe that, because the other, when I was just locked down, the other situation I was going to plan was you go into the studio and then we'll kind of connect a laptop to the switch
group
and
you
go
in.
ahead. But we both have to deal with. We're both in COVID situations right now. And I just can't. The same week, I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm glad.
Well,
we're
I guess
getting
it's
it over
better to
with.
get out of the way,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I guess it's better to get out of the way.
There you go.
So, agreed on all those points. And Andy, I love you.
I love you too, Matthew. Thanks for listening, folks. Let's get out of here.
You bet ass.